Well, hello, everyone. Do I have a treat for you today? There's a chef in the house. This is Chef AJ, by the way, and welcome to Healthy Living Live. My guest today is none other than Chef Darshana Thacker. She's not only the culinary project manager of Forks Over Knives, but she is the author of this amazing new book that comes out in just a few days. It's called Forks Over Knives Flavor, Delicious Whole Food Plant-Based Recipes to Cook Every Day. And she's actually going to be making a recipe from this book. So welcome, Darshana. And what are you going to make for us today?
Thank you, Chef AJ, for inviting me on your show. So,
of course.
I am so excited to be sharing this with your viewers, your followers. This book has been a labor of love for me and also the whole Forks Over Knives. It's our 5th book and it's our full color book, the first full color book with lots of pictures and recipes from around the world. And I am very, very happy to share a couple of those recipes today with you guys. The first one is the Puerto Rican arroz con gandules is actually rice and beans. But in this case, I have tried to adapt recipes to sometimes, to give it a twist or to adapt it from, maybe it's not whole food plant-based completely, so adapt it to make it whole food plant-based. So in this case, I've turned it into quinoa con gandules. So I have used quinoa instead of rice. And it has one of the good, and it's our full colors. I'm seeing
Sorry about that. I was trying to share see, I have the capability to share this broadcast in real time to your Forks Over Knives page. So I apologize for the volume being up, but as long as I'm mentioning it, why don't you guys share this broadcast in real time to all your pages?
Okay. So yes, do please share. So one of the good part about this project for me was that I was able to, get acquainted with new ingredients, new techniques from around the world. And one of the things I found through this particular recipe, the arroz con gandules, is that the pigeon peas, we also have pigeon peas in Indian cuisine. So I'm a little familiar with it, but not the versions that is used in the Puerto Rican cooking. So here are the 2 versions of pigeon peas. This is the green one and this is the dried one. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, neat. I've never seen those before.
Yeah, so you could use either of these or even use any of the beans that you're familiar with or you prefer. So I'm going to use the dried pigeon peas to make it a little more authentic. So it's got pigeon peas. It will be having bell pepper, sweet peppers. So another thing that I discovered on, when I tried to make this dish was that the process of creating a base. Every cuisine has that process, like the Italian, like the marinara sauce or the sofrito in Spanish cooking. So in this case, in Puerto Rican cooking, it's called refogado, and that's the same thing, like creating a base recipe. And since we are not going to be using oil in our cooking, I found an easy way to make the base, and that is to blend it up in some of the ingredients. You blend it up and you just cook it off and cook off all the liquid, and that creates a nice base. So we're going to start off with that, but maybe first I should go through the ingredients. Sorry. So there's
okay. It sounds good. I just want to read you a couple of the comments, Darshana. Colleen says that she loves your recipes, that you create yummy recipes. Angie says that she loves split pigeon peas in dal. And Tina says her husband is from Jamaica and uses those all the time in making dishes.
Oh, that's good to know. And thanks, Colleen. Thanks that you're enjoying my recipes. And I hope you really enjoy the recipes in this new book. I'm really excited to share it with everybody.
And the book is available where? On Amazon, and it comes out on Tuesday, October 30th, correct?
There are a lot of different ways to order it. You can order Kindle, Amazon, iTunes, iBooks, and there are some other links that are not familiar for me, but you would be able to find those on the Forks Over Knives website.
Yeah, I just want to show it once again, if you don't mind, in case people have tuned in a little bit late. The book we're Darshana's making food from today is her newest book coming up Tuesday, October 30th. Rush on over to Amazon right now and get it. It's called Forks Over Knives Flavors. It's all pictures. Look at this. This is going to be the first thing. I just got this book. This is the first thing I'm going to make. Russian beet burgers with dill slaw. Does that not look absolutely delicious? I've been dying for a good beet burger recipe. And then the other one, this looks so beautiful. The Vietnamese summer rolls. So I already have it earmarked, but I will say that one of the recipes I've already made, which I wanted to show you, but somebody loved it so much I gave it away, was your fresh cilantro chutney.
Oh. But the other two are also my favorite. So
my God. Well, we think alike. And I love that you have so much joy and passion for what you do. Nobody wants you to enjoy your food more than Darshana. I've been blessed to come to her home for dinner so many times. And she not only makes everyone feel so welcome, but anybody with an allergy or an intolerance, if she has 10 people, she doesn't mind making 10 different meals.
Yes, of course. And Chef AJ, remember, you were one of the first ones to taste a recipe from this book, and that is sweet potato tortilla soup.
And it's delicious, by the way, the sweet potato tortilla soup. And the chutney's delicious. By the way, that chutney is good on everything, even things that you don't think you would put it on, like salad is salad dressing. It's great on steamed potatoes. It's great on rice. That's going to be like my go-to sauce from now on, is your chutney.
Awesome.
Yep. So
we come back to the sofrito or refogado. It's going to be the bell peppers. I'm going to put the bell peppers in, a small onion, garlic cloves, and a whole cup of cilantro. So all this goes into the blender, and I don't use any water. Just blend it up. This is one of the quickest way of getting this base sauce done without extra water or oil. And this just goes into the pan, and you're gonna just cook it off. It will take about 10 minutes.
When did you start cooking without oil? Because traditionally, you're from India, and I'm sure that traditionally you learned to cook with oil first.
Yes, I did. I started cooking without oil when the movie when Forks Over Knives came out in 2011, because I was doing a few screenings at friends' places where, before the movie was like the I don't know what you call that, the pre-cuts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like maybe premieres, maybe, or
no, before the premieres, where they were doing showing it to the public and getting opinions.
Oh, maybe screenings, like yes. Screenings or testing.
Yeah. Test screenings, right? So I was doing the food, to invite people over, friends who wanted to see the documentary, to also, prepare some food that the documentary talks about. And at that time, I was asked to make food that is oil-free, and I realized that it's so easy. And of course, the information from the documentary convinced me that yes, oil-free is the best way to go. And it was so easy to just change from adding the little bit of oil, replacing it with vegetable stock, water, plant-based milk. So it was very easy to convert all my recipes into oil-free.
Right. And actually, that's where I met you, was as the producer, Brian Wendell's apartment at one of those pre-screenings. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was almost 9 years ago. Wow.
Yes. So,
guys, thanks for sharing the I'm just thanking everyone that's sharing the broadcast to their own pages. Oh, that looks good.
I'm going to show you the sauce, and it's going to cook off a little bit. I'm going to keep an eye on it. So the other thing, I'll go through the other ingredients that go in this dish. And as I was saying, I discovered so many new things to work with, so many new ingredients to play with, like spices and other stuff. So one of them is annatto. Annatto comes from a flower. And I don't have the exact, oh, here it is. I don't have the exact, the seeds.
Mhm.
They're all red in color, exactly like this, and they're small seeds. But this is the ground version that I get in Mexican markets. They're very easy to find, not at all expensive. This is $1.50 a pack. And it adds a nice flavor. It gives that authenticity to this cuisine. And so that's what I liked. And it gives a nice red color. So you can use it in any other dish where you want some, like if you run out of, or not run out of, but if instead of paprika, you want to use annatto, it'll give that same red color.
Nice.
And if you don't want to use annatto, you can also replace it with sweet paprika and it would have the same color.
Paprika, well, at least smoked paprika. That's my very favorite spice.
Yes, yes. Smoked paprika really adds to a dish, yeah?
Yeah, especially when you're not using salt. And what I love about Darshana's recipes, guys, is she always has salt as an option in her recipe or to taste, but her recipes come out just as good if you choose not to use salt, and they're all oil-free. And you're going to love this book because it's just so beautiful and delicious.
Yeah, there are a lot of pictures in this book, and that's one of the pleasures of working on this book is like to see all my recipes come out with so well in pictures. So I don't have a picture of the quinoa con gandules, but the other recipe that I'm going to be showing you is, I picked this recipe for you, Chef AJ, because I know you love kale and I know you love potatoes.
I love kale.
So this is the recipe.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's Caldo Verde. It's a Portuguese green soup. And, usually it's made with Portuguese cabbage, but we don't get that here. And I made it with kale and it turned out as good.
Nice.
So I'm going to make that. So
you literally cook all day, don't you? Testing recipes for the Forks Over Knives meal plan and the magazine and all the books. You must stand all day, every day.
I do. Most weekdays, I am in the kitchen cooking all day long, and it's the best job in the world. I am happiest when I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah, but you're very. I saw you the other night for your birthday, and you're very petite. So how do you maintain such a slender, healthy physique when you are literally cooking and tasting food all day long?
Well, it's the food.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the food is low fat. I don't put too much of nuts, seeds, or nut butters and all those things, or even tofu. Everything is like minimal, and most of my meals are based around beans and grains and vegetables.
Do you like potatoes and sweet potatoes as well?
I love. Very often, Brian and I, we would just have baked potatoes for dinner.
Yeah.
Baked potatoes and a side of steamed broccoli.
Oh my God, I love you. You could eat at my house then.
Yes.
Except it might be a sweet potato instead of a baked potato.
Right. So I am always inclined towards savory things. I'm not so much into sweet things. So for me, potato, I'm more attracted to potatoes than sweet potatoes. I'm sorry.
Right. And what you just mentioned, baked potato and broccoli, we can get at Wendy's when we're traveling.
Exactly. We love it. We are excited when we see a Wendy's somewhere and we are hungry. We are so happy. We get our most favorite food.
Oh. Somebody's asking a question about the name of your book. Is it plant-powered? So let me just show it again. It is called Forks Over Knives Flavor. That's the cover. That's the back cover, which shows the recipe I'm going to make first, the Russian beet burgers. And you can get it right now on Amazon and other places as well. Say hi, Bailey.
Oh, hi, Bailey.
You're both Libras. Bailey loves watching your show.
Oh.
Okay,
so the sofrito is done. As you can see, it's cooked off. And now I'm going to add the spices. So in goes some cumin, some oregano, the annatto powder that I was talking about. And I'm going to stir it in. And then comes the rest of the ingredients. Most of the recipes in this book, I have tried to keep them as simple as possible, so that the recipes may seem a little more sophisticated, but I've tried to keep the technique to be simple so that it's still approachable.
Nice. We appreciate that.
Yes, I hope new people going on this lifestyle will like these recipes. So in goes, now that the spice, it's all red because of the annatto. Base has become so red, and that's the color for this dish. It's bright red. Okay, and in this recipe, traditionally you use olives. Now I buy olive that's stored in brine, but I try to soak it for a little while in cold water so that it can, the sodium from the olives can be used. And I'm gonna just strain it out. It has been.
Do you have any favorite stores that you shop at? Like, do you shop at a lot of ethnic markets?
When I'm researching recipes, I start off at ethnic markets so that I can try out the recipe with the traditional ingredients. Of course, they have to be plant-based. And then once I've done that, then I will try to experiment with ingredients that are available in basic regular markets, so that these recipes become accessible to everybody around the country, or hopefully around the world.
So have you traveled around the world? Because a lot of these recipes, when I looked at, I'm like, I never even heard of, the recipe, but it seemed to go with a particular country.
Some places I have been in, maybe not in the recent past, some in a long time ago, but the recipes have stuck in my mind. And some I have done, a little bit research. Some I tried to go to different restaurants that served authentic cuisine from that region. And I have, living in LA, you have so many friends from around the world that it's also possible that I get to talk to friends who are, like, I have friends from all over, and I talk to them about their cuisine, get ideas from them, and learn from them. So that's how it has come about. This book is an experience, through different avenues.
Right, because it's really, you could almost have called it global flavor, because there's so many different types of cuisine represented.
Yes, that's exactly the intention that I had. I wanted to bring flavors from around the world so that people, if you have a favorite recipe of yours from, your ethnicity, and you are going plant-based, and those recipes weren't originally plant-based, I wanted to try and make those your comfort food to be plant-based, so that you still have those recipes to go to. And that was my basic intention initially. And out of that, I tried as much as I can that I bring that to our audience.
Nice, thanks. What I noticed that it doesn't seem to matter what the culture, the cuisine is always primarily starch-based. It's not based on meat or cheese or sugar or flour, or even, there's lots of fruits and vegetables, but all the different nationalities all have a different starch.
Yes, they do. And if of course, they may have moved away from that, from those starch and vegetables and grains and beans. They may have moved more towards meat, but they still have some recipes that are like gems that you can adapt and make it your own, plant-based. So everything goes into this pot now, and all you have to do is let it cook for about 30 minutes.
So Amy just joined. Can you please repeat what you are making?
Okay, so the first dish I'm showing is the quinoa con gandules. It's traditionally made with rice, but I switched it to quinoa, and it means rice and beans, or quinoa and beans. In this case, it's pigeon peas. It's a traditional.
Not pigeon pea, but pigeon peas.
Yes.
So guys, please share this broadcast. There's, especially if you're watching on your phone, it's really easy. There's just a little button that says share, and it allows you to share to every single group or page you're on at the same time. So we really appreciate that, because we want to get the word out about this amazing new book, Forks Over Knives Flavor, because a lot of people might not know about it. It comes out Tuesday, and you can pre-order it on Amazon right now.
Yes. And so the other dish that I hope, Chef AJ, you would like, and it is, because I found it to be so simple. Of course, traditionally it had some meat, but I skipped that completely, and the recipe is so simple but so delicious that I think this is going to be a favorite for many people. So
yeah, Darshana said, should we do it at my place or your place? And it's a lot easier for her to cook at her own place, but unfortunately, I don't get to taste it. So Linda wants to know if your recipes are diabetic friendly, and what country are these dishes from Agnes?
Okay, so yes, these recipes are heart, like they are whole food plant-based food if you stick to it being like without oil and low salt, sugar, and nuts and seeds. It's healthy for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It covers the whole range. Like, you may have some ailment, but it will be, if you stick to that, it would be healthy for anybody. And these recipes, most of them are. There are some desserts where I have tried to, like those are like treats, and maybe some of those may be a little higher in fat than what you might want to have. But otherwise, they're all like grains and beans and lots of vegetable base.
Mm-hmm.
They should be good for you.
And what country are the two recipes you're making from? Agnes wanted to know.
Okay, so the first one is from Puerto Rico. The Quinoa con Gandules is from Puerto Rico. And the next one that I'm going to show right now is the Portuguese Caldo Verde. And that's a green soup. It's traditionally made with green cabbage, Portuguese cabbage, which we don't have here. But you can easily make it with kale or with any other hearty greens like Swiss chard. Oh, maybe not Swiss chard. Maybe what's the other one? Collard greens.
Oh, yum.
Yes. Yep. And lots of potatoes. So this dish, the basic dish is like you saute the onions. I have started the dish halfway through. It's done. I sauteed the onions with garlic, bay leaf, and cinnamon. And I tell you, when I was making this while I was prepping the other dish, the whole kitchen was smelling so good. I just can't wait to have this once it's done. It's so
yum
and so simple. Just four spices to flavor it. It's the onion, or 4 flavoring, like onion, garlic, cinnamon, and bay leaf, and a little bit black pepper. Yeah. And I sauteed it, and then I added the potatoes and carrots and with some water. You can use vegetable stock, or you can use just basic water. And I cooked it for 10 minutes, and the potatoes are done. All I'm going to do is try to find that little bit of cinnamon stick in there somewhere, because I'm going to puree some of this. I'm going to use a hand blender to make it chunky. So, here you go. There it is. I found the cinnamon.
Those hand blenders are great because it's so much safer than trying to transfer hot soup to a blender.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it makes the whole process so much easier.
Okay. So Darshana, what's your favorite kitchen tool? So like if there was a fire, would you grab the Instant Pot or the air fryer?
Instant Pot, for sure.
Yeah, me too. The 8-quart
pot for my rice and beans.
Yeah, absolutely. But if there was 2 of us, I would have somebody else grab the Breville.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Assuming Bailey was already out of the house. Yep.
Oh yes, I remember that conversation.
Oh yeah, we talked about that the other night. Oh, that's so funny.
So this, since the soup is halfway done, I'm just gonna add the kale and let it cook. And it takes a lot of kale here. It looks like it's a lot of kale, but once it's cooked down, it's it's evenly between kale and the flavoring comes from kale and potatoes evenly.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, it's so much easier to get greens in if you cook them. They're so voluminous if you try to eat them raw.
Right. Yeah.
Not that I mind a little arugula in my salad, but for the most part, it's easier if you steam them.
So this smells so good. So does this.
Too bad there's not smell-o-vision.
I know. I'm sure that technology is going to come soon. With
Yep.
all TV, cooking shows around, I think.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of just writing a cookbook because you are from India of just Indian recipes?
Lately I have been thinking about it.
Yeah, because people love Indian food,
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of interest, and I also now feel like there are a lot of Indian recipes that would be good to make them oil-free.
Yeah.
Like really, it's a nice challenge too.
Do you ever have any aspirations to opening a restaurant?
I love feeding people, so a part of me always wants to have some kind of an outlet to,
Yeah, right.
But I struggle. I struggle
Yeah.
with it because restaurant is
it's like a 24-hour-a-day job. Right now, you've already got a 23-hour-a-day job. So
exactly. I don't think I want to do that.
Yep.
Yeah. It is it's a struggle to not to give up on that. Like it would be so nice if even for my own self, sometimes I know Chef AJ, you have found a lot of places where, you get oil free, or you even convince the chefs at certain restaurants oil free. That is so impressive. And I wish I could do that. And I want to learn that from you.
All right. If you'll open an SOS free restaurant, maybe we could get you, Chef Darshana's Kitchen or Darshana's Kitchen, SOS free.
Yeah. Oh, that would be nice. In a way, it would be nice. But
that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so welcome, Suzanne. She wrote a very nice comment that her entire life has changed and she found me. You are so welcome. I love doing this. So Darshana, other than yourselves, are there any vegan restaurants in LA that you like to go to, or any other vegan chefs that you like their work?
In LA, we have found a few oil-free places where we can get oil-free, and one of them is a Thai place that makes oil-free pho. I think it is traditionally made with broth, so that shouldn't have oil. Mm-hmm. And so we love going there. And those fresh rolls, we like to have those fresh rolls. And there is one small little dive in Santa Monica that makes oil-free beans and rice.
Wow.
We like to have, Mexican food, like make a wrap or taco out of those with salsa. So that's a dish. That's a place we enjoy too when we want some Mexican.
Yeah. Who's your favorite vegan chef other than me? Ha ha ha. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, there are Chef Del.
We love Del. That was so fun when me and Del did the Iron Chef together, and you won both times against me, Del, and both Esselstyns, Anne and Jane. Of course, you had just literally graduated culinary school, so.
Yeah. I guess I don't get the credit. The school gets the credit.
No, you get the credit. Eric Lechasseur? He's one of my favorites. I've been trying to get him on the show for a long time.
Yes, he's great.
Yeah.
I don't get to eat oil-free food from other chefs because I'm always here cooking in the kitchen, so I don't get to travel like you do and get to experience that.
Right. Yeah. I like being home. So Carrie wants to know the name of the places. Do you know the name of the restaurants that you just mentioned where you get oil-free food in Santa Monica?
Yes. So I go to Star of Siam. And there There's a place called Bowl Kitchen, but if you go there when it's really low, like low traffic, that's about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, you may be able to convince the chef there to make you a bibimbap, vegan bibimbap without oil. But it's tricky, usually they're busy, so it's a little bit of a trouble for them. So Star of Siam, and there's a small place called Holy Guacamole on Main Street, Santa Monica. So that's where you get your oil-free rice and
cool. And there's a place in Playa. They have one in Sherman Oaks. It's called Harvest Bar, and you can get SOS-free bowls.
Oh wow! It's in
Playa. Yeah, there's a location in Playa and one opening up, I think they said in Westwood, but I go to the one in Sherman Oaks, and like they'll make like bowls like with quinoa, rice, oil and salt free, and then they'll put on like mangoes and cucumbers, cilantro, sweet potato cubes. It's really good. And then they have some higher fat sauces like tahini and cashew, but I just bring my own sauce and it's delicious. It's called Harvest Bar.
Nice. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, you could try. You're closer to the one in Playa, so you'd probably like it.
Yeah. And so Star of Siam also has started making one of their, noodle dish for us that's oil-free. It's, they just steam some vegetables in their broth and, saute or season the noodles with their broth, which is oil-free. And that's another good dish. Rahel makes oil-free Ethiopian food. And you just have to call beforehand to check what they have.
Nice.
They are so good. Their food is just delicious. Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's there, and those are a few places that we know of. Rahel's is in Fairfax in Little Ethiopia.
Cool.
Yeah, that's our little discoveries.
Suzanne wants to know, I don't know if she's asking me or you if we ever come to Arizona. I taught in Tucson once. I don't know if you ever go to Arizona.
No, I haven't been in a long, long time. So, yeah, it's a place that I would like to go. I would like to go back to Sedona. Beautiful. So the soup is ready. Both these dishes are pretty simple and delicious, and I'm gonna show you. So.
Yum, yum.
Yeah. Lots of
Yeah, Colleen, I've been to Rahel's, and she does make oil-free if you call her in advance, and she makes gluten-free. What's that? Injera bread, right? Injera, is that what it's called?
Injera, made with
yeah, she'll make it gluten-free. Oh, that soup looks delicious. It looks just like the picture in the book.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Smelling so good.
Oh my God, we should have done it at my place because now I don't get to taste that. That looks so delicious.
Sorry, I can send it to you.
Yeah, get a Lyft driver to bring it over right now. Caldo Verde soup.
Yes.
That sounds amazing.
You could make it with your favorite sweet potato if you want.
Oh, instead of a regular potato, huh?
Yeah.
Caldo Verde. It's on page 206 if you guys, well, I guess they couldn't have the book yet because it doesn't come out until Tuesday, but hopefully they'll order the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. So this is what she just made, guys, that she showed the picture of, the Caldo Verde soup. Okay, oops. Oh, there it goes.
So this recipe has taken me all over the world, and I've discovered so much, and I hope that everybody tries these recipes and discovers the joy of whole food plant-based cooking, and the way you feel after eating this food.
Right.
Yeah,
and you have some chapters. Well, it's not right before the recipes. You talk about how to cook oil-free. You have a whole thing about spices, and so there's more in there than just recipes, guys. There's actual written stuff that's going to be very helpful. Equipment, all that kind of stuff.
I have shared a few tricks of the trade. How because I spend so much time cooking for myself and also, testing recipes for the Forks Over Knives brand, that I have found a few things that really help me. And I've learned a few of those tricks from my mother. And that is to make paste of garlic and ginger, and you freeze them in small cubes.
Yep.
And you just put them in the Ziploc bag in the freezer, so it doesn't occupy too much space. So anytime you need these things, you don't have to sit and chop or mince garlic. You just bring out a cube from the freezer.
Wow.
And I freeze stock. I make my own vegetable stock. I have recipe in the book of 30-minute stock, and I make my own almond milk, so I never run out of almond milk.
And you have a brilliant way to make almond milk. You make it out of almond flour.
Flour, yeah. If you soak the flour in hot water for a little bit, it really softens up and it blends into a smooth milk.
Yep. That's so cool.
A few things I like to do that makes it so much easier. I chop one of the things that I don't like I'm a lazy cook. Although I cook a lot, I'm lazy.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
So, chopping fresh herbs for garnish or flavoring, I find that really tedious. So what I like to do is I clean the whole bunch when I buy it. I come home, I clean the bunch, soak it in water and clean it, and put it in a salad spinner so that it dries completely. And then I store the whole thing in a container wrapped in a paper towel. And then it makes it so much easier. This thing the herb will last for the whole week, and you just take a few at a time to chop it up because it's clean and ready. Then it's not so much trouble to just chop it up right before serving dinner or
That's
salad.
a great tip. John says he just ordered the book and he can't wait for it to arrive. So thank you, John. Hopefully everyone else will order the book or at least share this broadcast with their friends to get them to find out about the book.
Yeah, there's one thing I want to share with everybody, that we have, if you go on either Forks Over Knives or I don't know if we have a freebie coming out at the end of the month when the book is released. There were a few recipes that I loved that didn't make it into this book.
Oh, yum.
We're going to be sharing these for free for the first 100 people who sign up through Forks Over Knives and about 50 people who sign up through my website. If you pre-order your books and send us a copy of the order, you can send it to info@darshanaskitchen.com. And if you send me the pre-order, page from whichever site you buy it from, we'll be sending out these three free recipes.
Nice.
That are not published, and
so I'll type that on the screen. info@darshanaskitchen.com. And so what is your website? Darshana's Kitchen, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's my website.
Cool. Hey, thanks, Suzanne. She just ordered the book. Thank you. I know you're going to enjoy it. So did you finish the second recipe already?
Okay, so the second recipe, the quinoa recipe, is about to get ready. The last thing I do is, instead of salt or to decrease the use of salt, I of course use mustard. So I like lemon juice a lot more than I use the vinegar. But in this case, I'm using the apple cider vinegar.
Hey, by any chance, did you try the vinegar I gave you the other night?
Oh, not yet, but I plan to.
Okay, because you said you like spicy things, so.
Yes, I am going to. So that's it. The quinoa is also ready. There's just a little bit of acid needed and some garnish with some cilantro. I'm going to stir it in. What I like about Sunrise food is the color, as they say, we eat with our eyes first, and look at this dish.
Oh my God, it's your food is so beautiful, just like you.
Thank you. I don't know if you can see the color. So
it's beautiful.
So I'm gonna get that out here. So here you go. So, Chef, can you remind me which was the other dish you tried? So this is the.
Oh, I didn't. Oh my God, that look, your food is so beautiful. You guys, you got to get the book. Colleen, the vinegar I gave her was habanero. I gave her
Yes.
habanero balsamic because she's Indian. She likes spicy food. She could handle it.
Yes. So yeah, so these are the recipes, and I'm just waiting for everybody to get their books.
Yeah. And so show them again one at a time. If this doesn't get you to buy the books, guys, look at these beautiful recipes. And she made them in like not even half an hour. Higher up, a little bit higher up, or camera lower down. There we go. There's the Caldo Verde. Oh, the soup.
Oops.
Okay.
I have to get the right
there it is. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
And that looks delicious. No, it's not lentils. It's pigeon peas, not pigeon pea, Tabitha, but pigeon peas.
The caldo verde is just potatoes and kale.
Oh, potatoes and kale. Sorry about that. So it's not lentils, it's quinoa that you're looking at here.
Yes. And it's okay.
Yeah, hold it up just a little. That looks so beautiful. Up a little bit. There we go. Yes. And you can see it's hot. Oh boy, you're making everybody hungry. And there's still time to share this broadcast, guys, because if you share it right now, it'll start at the beginning for them. So hello, Esther. So that's terrific. Do you guys have any questions for Darshana before we let her go eat? Angie says Darshana is so lovely. Yep, that's a good adjective. That's what I would say. Colleen says she'll order the books because she loves books that have oil-free recipes, and everything Darshana does is oil-free. And I think you contributed it to at least 4 or 5 other books before this one, right?
Yes, I have. I have contributed to each of the Forks Over Knives books. Like in the beginning, there were just a few recipes because I was also like, had just started my career as a chef and as an oil-free chef. But in the last book, that is a family book, I contributed all the recipes, and this book, of course.
In this book, it's all your recipes.
Yeah.
So it's like it's your first baby on your own.
It is, and I am so happy that this book has been a collaboration of so many people, and it's turned out so beautiful beyond my imagination. It's so beautiful. The photography, the layout, and the way it's written too. I had help from Carolyn Carreno, who helped me write this book. And, she really helped me with putting out my ideas to our readers.
Right. And there's a foreword by Brian Wendell, and he writes, I am confident that after cooking from this book, you'll fall in love with her food. Absolutely. It's a beautiful foreword. So, guys, does the book have a picture in each recipe? Martina wants to know. It has almost every recipe, right?
There are 85 pictures. Not all of the recipes got a picture, unfortunately, but there are enough recipes that have pictures, and that will inspire you.
Yep, absolutely. And this is the one I'm going to make first, the Russian beet burger with the dill slaw. It looks amazing. So how did you get started with Forks Over Knives?
Well, basically, I got started when I started doing the screenings, as I said before the book document was released, the pre-screenings. And, at that time, I had just started my career as a vegan Ayurvedic chef teaching Indian food. And then when I got inspired to cook oil-free, I started developing recipes that were not just Indian, but from all over the world. And gradually, a few years after the documentary was released, I decided to go to culinary school to get my, official.
I remember you were gone for like at least, 9 months, right?
6 months to New York, and I studied at the Natural Gourmet Institute. And I learned so many tricks of traditional cooking that I could adapt, use and, adapt it for making oil-free plant-based food. And when I came back after school, it was just a perfect timing for me to join Forks Over Knives because they needed a chef for a lot of their projects, and I needed an avenue to express all the creativity that that was coming out after all my training. So,
Well, it sounds like it was a match made in heaven.
yes.
Well, you are great, Darshana. Tabitha, we mentioned earlier, her recipes are not, quote, dedicated salt-free, but she has learned to make them delicious if you choose not to add salt. So if they have salt listed, it's not a lot, and you can always leave it out.
Yes. And the way I design all my recipes is, if somebody were to not put that little bit of salt that I do, or I do less of these days, but if you were, there's always an acid in the dish, instead of, so you would just increase a little bit of the acid. It could be lemon juice or any kind of vinegar that I might have used. You would just use a little more of the lemon juice or vinegar, and you would get the same delicious taste, because it's not just the salt is not what makes the food flavorful. It is, I depend on spices, not on salt to make my food delicious.
Right. Do you have is there a salt substitute that you use? Suzanne wants to know.
Well, it's the one that you introduced me to.
Yeah, Benson's Table Tasty. Yeah, not bad.
Only thing is, Table Tasty has a distinct taste of dill in it. So not all dishes.
Well, you know what you could do seriously is I can introduce you to her. You could probably ask her to make a blend for you without it.
I am really, really going to do that.
Right. Or every year I've invited you and Brian to come to our Vegas conference, where she is sampling all her flavors, and she has 2 new ones that are coming out soon that I think you're going to love. One is roasted garlic, and one is smoked paprika chipotle, that are better than her original. So
please let me know when they're
out. Believe me, I'll get her to send you some. So, all right. Well, that is.
We'll come to your Vegas conference.
I hope so next year. That would be amazing. And we are hoping that by next year we'll be able to do cooking, so you could actually have a role doing something. So that would be amazing. So anyway, it was so fun talking to you. So guys, so many of you have already ordered, but as soon as we get off, please go to Amazon or however you get your books and order this wonderful book called Forks Over Knives Flavor. Share this broadcast with your friends. Suzanne, she doesn't know yet if she's going to Vegas. We've invited her every year, so it just depends on her busy schedule, and hopefully we'll be able to have her do a chef demo, because she's excellent at oil-free, and I know it's very easy for her to do salt-free as well. So you're welcome, Colleen, where it's our pleasure to do this. Thank you so much, Darshana. You're just a joy to talk to, and your food is as delicious and beautiful as you are. Brian is a very lucky man, and so is Forks Over Knives for having you.
Thank you, Chef AJ. Love you.
Okay, same here. Love you too. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.